Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tech Knowledge Hub. Today, we're diving into a fundamental tool in networking that's so simple yet so powerful, it's called ping. Ever wondered how your computer checks if another device on the network is reachable? Or how you test your internet connection? That's ping doing its magic. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how ping works, what it does, and why it's such an essential part of networking. We're going to break it down in a way that's easy to understand, step by step. So, whether you're a tech enthusiast, a budding network engineer, or just curious about how your devices communicate, this video is for you. Let's start with the basics. The word ping might remind you of sonar signals, and that's not far from the truth. In fact, it's inspired by the sound of sonar pings used in submarines to measure distances. In the world of networking, ping is a tool used to test the reachability of a device on a network. Think of it as your computer's way of saying, hey, are you there to another device? If the other device is reachable, it responds with, yes, I'm here. Ping operates using a protocol called ICMP, which stands for Internet Control Message Protocol. It's a foundational part of the internet, but we'll come back to ICMP in a bit. Why do we use ping? Here are a few key reasons. First is connectivity testing. Let's say your internet isn't working and you want to figure out why. Ping helps you test if your computer can reach other devices, like your router or a website server. Second is latency measurement. Ping can tell you how fast your network is. It measures something called latency, which is the time it takes for a data packet to travel from your computer to another device and back. Third is troubleshooting. Ping is a go-to tool for diagnosing network problems. If a device doesn't respond to a ping, it could mean it's offline, unreachable, or there's a problem with the network. Fourth is network performance. Gamers often talk about ping to describe the delay in their connection. A lower ping means smoother gameplay, while a higher ping can lead to lag. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of how ping actually works. It's surprisingly straightforward, but there's a lot happening under the hood. First is sending the ping request. When you use ping, your computer sends a small data packet called an ICMP echo request to the target device. This packet is like a digital handshake saying, hello, can you hear me? Second is receiving the response. If the target device is reachable, it sends back an ICMP echo reply. This is the device's way of saying, yes, I'm here. Third is measuring the round trip time. Your computer measures the time it takes for the request to travel to the target and for the reply to come back. This is called the round trip time RTTT and is usually measured in milliseconds. Fourth is displaying the results. Finally, your computer shows the results of the ping test. You'll typically see information like the IP address of the target, the time taken for each ping, the number of packets sent, received, and lost. Now, let's talk about the unsung hero behind ping ICMP. It's not something you interact with directly, but it's working tirelessly in the background. ICMP is a lightweight protocol designed for error reporting and diagnostics in networks. Unlike protocols like TCP and UDP, ICMP isn't used for sending regular data. Instead, it's used for messages like destination unreachable when a device can't be reached, time exceeded if a packet takes too long to reach its destination. For ping, ICMP plays the role of delivering those echo requests and reply messages we talked about earlier. Let's take a closer look at what's inside a ping packet. While it might seem technical, breaking it down makes it easier to understand. First is header. It contains information like the type of message, echo request or reply, and a checksum to ensure data integrity. Second is payload. This is the actual data being sent. By default, it's a small chunk of data, but you can adjust its size when running a ping test. This simplicity is what makes ping so efficient. It's quick, lightweight, and to the point. While ping is incredibly useful, it's not without limitations. First is blocked ICMP. Some networks block ICMP traffic for security reasons, which means ping won't work. Second is firewall issues. Firewalls can also block ping requests, making it seem like a device is unreachable when it's not. Third is one-dimensional. Ping only tells you if a device is reachable and measures latency. It doesn't provide detailed information about the network's health. If you're looking for more advanced functionality, there are tools that build on the ping concept like Traceroute tracks the path packets take to reach a target. MTRMY Traceroute combines ping and Traceroute for real-time diagnostics. These tools provide deeper insights into your network. Here's a fun part. Ping was created in 1983 by Mike Moose, a computer scientist who was trying to troubleshoot a network problem. He named it Ping as a nod to sonar technology. Little did he know his tool would become a staple in networking. So that's for Ping in this video, a simple yet powerful tool that's indispensable in networking. Whether you're troubleshooting a connection, measuring latency, or just curious about how devices communicate, Ping is your go-to tool. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tech content. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.